What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Zeb with Lotus RC.
Travis.
So today we're reviewing the Wraith 1.9 from Axial. And you'll see why we put that in quotes here in a minute. So we'll start off with the boring stuff, your control. Just your typical remote. It's a Spectrum STX2. Got all your bells and whistles with the trims and all that. And takes 4 AA's, doesn't come with the truck. Well, the batteries don't. So let's go ahead and get into the truck here. So first things first, what we learned first day out of the box with this thing is this battery compartment. This is the battery that is recommended for this truck. It's a Spectrum 5000 milliamp 3S battery is what Axial told me to put in. And the battery compartment on this thing is just dumb. You have to put the battery down in this way and then route your wire up here to plug it in. But what they don't tell you and what no other reviewer on YouTube mentioned in all the reviews I watched was that there were these 2 little tabs down in here that kind of spring load to hold your battery. We had to take those out to put the recommended battery in this truck. That's ridiculous. And the 2 stock body pins are also gone already, so we put Traxxas pins on for the hood. The hood feature is cool, and it's got the little LS mock engine down in there and stuff to give it a scale look. But yeah, that's just terrible with the battery and everything. And another thing too is this thing, I mean, it's super flippy. You know, I mean, even with him driving it, this thing does not like to stay on its wheels.
It's got a lot of bounce. It's too light. If you really want it to be a successful truck, you got to add some weight.
Yeah, I mean, stuff that even any one of these rigs, the Red Cat Gen 7, mine's wearing the C10 body, as some of you may have seen. This thing, bone stock, was the flippiest truck I've ever seen. This thing beats it in flippiness. I mean, I bought this because I was looking at it going, hey, it's a Wraith with 1.9 size wheels. I should be able to keep up with Travis's trail walker. Not the case. My Red Cat Gen 7 would crawl circles around this, and it costs like $150 less.
This truck's price point, I feel, is ridiculous. I mean, my trail walker with a battery and charger was like $326 out the door, and it absolutely stomps all over this thing.
Yeah. And here's something else that's dumb about this truck. Your connector here is a special EC3 connection with the little smart tang in there. This is the only truck I know of with that. I'm sure some other Axials have that, but come on, guys, just give us your standard Dean's connector. I get that this battery is supposed to have that for some special thing to make it last longer or whatever, but just give us a Dean's and maybe put that port on there.
I will give it to it on the battery life, though. It lasts forever.
Yeah. And something we're noticing too is that these shocks, if you notice here, I'll bring it up like this, and then I push it down, and it doesn't return fully on the rear.
And the front returns on one side.
Yeah, the front has pretty much the same issue where it'll return on one side but not both.
This truck's maybe got an hour and a half total of runtime on it, and it's already going to need shock work done. It looks like it's been owned for months when it's only been out of the box maybe a week or 2. It's not what it's cracked up to be.
Yeah, make no mistake, we have driven the crap out of this truck every day since we got it. But it already looks like we've had it here for months, maybe a year, because it's just so unstable on the trails and stuff that it'll go over. You'll see in the videos we're climbing stuff maybe the size of my fist, a little bigger, no problem. We get into the stuff where it comes up maybe to the truck's hood and it just wants to go over. And you can see down here, all these links and everything are plastic. The axles are plastic. Even the steering links and everything down here are plastic.
There's basically no metal on this truck. It's just super fragile. If you get into anything with like a sharp angle, it looks like it's gonna snap the steering arms on this thing.
The servo is a Tactic TSX 4.5 metal gear servo, but everything from the horn all the way down to the steering is just plastic. And then it's got, I believe it was a 16 turn motor. You'll have to go back to our intro video to be sure, but I'm pretty sure it was a 16 turn brushed motor in here. And you can see it's got the driver with the motocross helmet on and all that. It's got this lid up here. But here's something else. That right there is this thing's maximum flex. So, like I said, literally something the size of my fist. Anything bigger than that, this truck's carrying the wheel and is gonna go over.
I mean, no disrespect to Axial. I'm a big fan of the original SCX-10 Honcho, the SCX-10-2, even the 3, but this Wraith 1.9, it's a disrespect to the Wraith as the original rig, and I feel you're far better off going with an SCX-10 or an SCX-10-2 than you are with this thing.
Yeah, they claimed that in a lot of the reviewers' videos, they say that this is a mix of the SCX-10-2 deadbolt and the Wraith. You know, the actual Wraith. This, it's a cool looking rig. I mean, look at that. That is super cool looking. Got the hood scoops, the cage, and all that. It definitely looks like it's got Wraith DNA. You know what this is? This is something I might be able to train my nephews on so they can get the feel for the throttle and the steering on some minor rocks before they move up to something like one of these to start climbing the big stuff. You know, like my oldest nephew is going to be getting a gatekeeper here pretty soon from Element RC. I may very well let him practice with this if I don't decide to sell it. Because I'm disgusted by the fact that the truck was about $330. I ordered it directly through Axial, and it didn't perform. And then this battery was another 50 or 60 bucks. And then I had to buy a charger that accepts this kind of connector because they don't make an adapter where I can adapt my charger onto this. So I had to buy a separate charger for a rig that I don't think I'm even going to keep.
And we've also had a few friends that are also experienced crawlers try this rig to see if maybe it was a problem with us as drivers. Not the case. Nobody liked it.
Yeah, none of our friends drove it. Even one of our buddies that's an actual comp driver did not like this thing one bit. And part of that, I think, is one, the wheels are not heavy enough to keep it, you know, heavy where it needs to be. These tires, I mean, the compound on these tires is harder than what you get stock on a Red Cat. I mean, this thing at this price point should have come with some actual X3 compound grip that's nice and sticky and soft.
And also, this truck does not come on beadlock wheels. It says it's beadlocked, it's a glued-on tire.
Yeah,
They're a plastic wheel. I feel with some steel beadlocks, some softer compound tires, maybe a dual-stage foam, some brass hub weights, this thing could have potential, but for the price point, it does not perform in that range.
Yeah, no, this is, to get this thing performing anywhere near well enough to earn that Wraith name, I would have to go and get different shocks for it, different wheels and different tires, just to get it to perform anywhere in the neighborhood of what I might expect from a Wraith. But here's the thing. You'll see in the videos that this truck it wants to perform, and it does have moments where you're like, hey, this thing is doing pretty good. Don't mind the cat, guys. He doesn't know the meaning of shut up. But it's cat just made me lose my train of thought here. Shut up, cat.
I see it.
But yeah, the headlights on here actually function. I can plug this in and show that to you.
This is a pretty truck.
Yeah,
It really is.
It's a good looking truck. And I wanted so badly to love this thing. I bought it to be able to actually keep up with Travis out on the trails. You can see the lights even work. And this thing in the dark, we've driven it in the dark, and these lights will actually point and light up the trail that you're trying to crawl on.
It's beautifully designed, just performance lacks.
Yep, this is a beautifully made looking truck, and I mean, it hasn't broken on us yet, other than I think the shocks are potentially going bad on it already, but it's just no. All right, just no. Unless you just want something that's gonna look cool that you can go and drive down your dirt driveway where maybe the rain has caused a little washout, or maybe you've got river rocks the size of my fist and that's the biggest thing you're gonna be climbing, cool, fine, whatever. And even then, you're gonna have to drop the throttle way down, because this thing, with the throttle even at halfway,
It's fast.
it's so touchy that it will just jump literally off the ground like it's bunny hopping when you hit the trigger. And if you're trying to goose it over something, it will torque twist like crazy. And if you go in a straight line and you just let off the trigger, you don't even have to fling it into reverse. This truck will do a frontward somersault. That's Traxxas and Arma basher type stuff. So once again, guys, $330. Want to see a better crawler for less? There you go. And look, I even parked it on the wheel.
Element RC trail walker. The platform's far better. You get behind axle steer, and it costs far less than the Wraith.
Yep.
Walks all over it.
Yeah, this thing.
We have footage of this truck doing stuff that comp rigs do, and I've only changed shocks, wheels, and tires.
Yeah, we've got plenty of footage of this, the Wraith, these rigs that you see here behind us. This was wearing the silver Gen 7 body at the time. You're going to get to see it with this body from now on. But we've got more than enough video proof that we know how to drive these things, and taking this over the same kind of stuff, it just won't do it. But the thing is, with the Red Cats, you've got durability issues and not so much performance, with the exception of the Gen 8. It had performance issues till I modified it. But if you want just straight performance and reliability both out of the box for just shy of $300 and just north of $300 once you buy your battery and everything, this one right here, it comes stock as a 155, but it still outcrawls most of your 1.9 rigs. And then if you put these 1.9 Mad Beast tires from Pitbull, the Yeah Racing Desert Lizard shocks on it, and these wheels on here, what's the brand you said these wheels are?
SSD. They're steel bead lock, 4-piece.
Yeah, you put that kind of stuff on this truck, it'll put you in about the price range of this, and you will have infinitely better performance. So again, guys, this remains to date our most recommended trail truck. So thank you guys for swinging by. Be sure to stick around and watch the running footage that we're going to cut to right now. Be sure to thumbs up, subscribe, comment, share, and we'll see you next time.
There I was, back in the wild again, and I felt right at home where I belong. I had that feeling coming over me again, just like it happened so many times before. Yeah. The spirit of the woods is like an old good friend, makes me feel warm and good inside. And I knew his name, and it was good to see him again, 'cause in the wind he's still alive. Oh, Fred Bear, walk with me down the trails again. Take me back where I belong. Oh, Fred Bear, I'm glad to have you at my side, my friend. And I'll join you in the big hunt before too long. Before too long. It was kind of dark, another misty dusk, and it came from a tangle down below. And I tried to remember everything it taught me so well. I had to decide which way to go. Was I alone or in a hunter's dream? 'Cause the moment of truth was here and now. I felt his touch, I felt his guiding hand. The buck was mine forevermore. Because of Fred Bear, I'll walk down these trails again.